ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Nozz reacts to the final Gate King Crimson edition, even though I just realized I probably should have called it Golden Experience edition, because really the way this works is probably more like Golden Experience Requiem than King Crimson, but King Crimson's the dankest meme, and more people know what King Crimson is because King Crimson is a meme that has gone beyond JoJo, and Part 5 is shit, so, I mean, whatever. But yeah, I just finished watching, Gate Season 2, the final episode. Episode, like, what was that, 24? Yeah, it's 24. 24. Which, by the way, if you are coming here first and you want to watch that bit first, then hey, that's linked on the VidMe down there in the description. So if you want to pause this, click that, come back after, I ain't gonna be mad. Anyway, so this episode was probably one of the best send-offs to this that really this anime could have had. Because, let's be honest, first season of this anime was kind of a trash fire. Like, there was good episodes here and there, and, like, you know, like, there were characters endearing, like Lele, and Tomita was actually pretty cool, even though he barely fucking showed up. And his whole arc ended very quickly, because as soon as he found that cat pussy, he was like, I'm gonna just step out the story, I got my cat pussy, I'm out! And a lot of the other characters were, including the main character, Itami, were just kind of archetypes. They didn't really have anything interesting going for them. They just kind of were there, like, oh, hi, I'm the tsundere. Oh, hi, I'm the yandere. Oh, hi, I'm archetype. Oh, I'm the chief that's angry at you, but damn it, I respect you. And Itami was just kind of like, I'm the protagonist-kun. I'm an otaku, and I like to watch anime, and I can do no wrong, because I'm thinking with my dick. And also, I can kill 100 things that should be way stronger than a human, because my love of fucking doujins. And it was kind of shit. Like very, very, very rarely, like only like when the planets align will I ever agree with Digibro. Because I think that he's kind of an asshole, and I shouldn't say kind of an asshole, I'm sure he's probably a really nice guy in real life, and he's better than Mother's Basement, so I mean, but he's very judgmental, and he's very, he very quickly jumps the gun on things and says, oh no, that's shit, and puts it away. And I don't always agree with his taste, but that's taste, and that's subjective. But he's the person who said that Gate, from the first episode alone, is a shit anime, and he used that for his video that he did that was how to recognize a bad anime in one episode, and I agree. From the first episode outward, Gate looks like a very, very shitty show that completely fucking squanders a really, really interesting premise. Now, that is true, and that is true for the entirety of the first season. The first season is very, very lame. Like, you see Lele and she's a wizard, but you see no other wizards. And what application of her magic we do get is very, very limited in scope. And even though the Japanese have, every time they've run into the people of this fantasy world, I guess we should call them, like, we never even got a name for them, so like, I'm just gonna call them Gators. I'm gonna call them Gators, right? Right? So every time the Japanese fight the Gators, they win. Outright. With barely any, or even, actually, no, I don't think they get any casualties ever. I don't think a single Japanese soldier has died beyond the gate. And if they have, then we were never shown them and it was off screen. And yet the Japanese insists on treating these guys as, like, the biggest dicked threats in, like, that they've ever met. And then we have the whole thing with the Americans, the Russians, the Chinese, and they're like, oh, we gotta get that, they might have oil. Oh man, I gotta get my oil rigs in there. Yeehaw! I'm Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome, I gotta get me some oil, you know, like that shit. And that's really, really ridiculous and silly, and the fact that they had fucking Black Ops operatives on Japanese soil trying to kidnap the the Gator ambassadors, which would be the waifu squad. Like, that's just shows a complete paranoid delusion and a misunderstanding of how world politics works. And here's the thing with that. It never comes up again. It's just kind of ignored, and we never really see it again. Maybe it comes up later in the light novel, but hey, it didn't come up in the show, and I ain't going to go read that fucking light novel. I ain't going to do that. No. You can't make me do it. If you want to link me some fucking scans, to cool shit that happens, okay, but I ain't going to read the whole thing. And they ignore it, which does serve the story better, but the mere fact that that sort of thing exists, that's a jar of worms you can't put the lid back on, because now we're just ignoring the fact that the Japanese, Russians, and the Americans, the Russians, and the Chinese essentially just fucking invaded Japanese soil, and there's a whole bunch of their soldiers laying dead in an onsen. Are we just going to ignore that? I mean, exploring it more would probably just be more embarrassing and more ridiculous and absolute shitty storytelling, but the fact that it exists and we're ignoring it, like, it was the best call they could have made, but it was a call that shouldn't have had to be made. You know? Like, it's absolutely silly. Like, why not have, like, American dignitaries or something be like, oh yeah, I want to meet these people, I want to meet these motherfuckers, and then, like, you could have Pina, Lele, and all that. They then know that there's countries that are bigger than Japan, so even if they did beat back Japan, they got other motherfuckers to deal with. Like, that's just really, really goofy and dumb and stupid, and I don't like it. I don't like it. No, stop it. But then, once we get into Season 2, I feel like the anime really did step up its game in the writing category. I don't know if, and like I said, I have never read the light novel, so I'm treating this as if this was an anime-only thing. And if the light novel is worse, or it's better, or whatever, I don't care, because I'm reviewing the anime, not the light novel. Just gonna repeat that for the third time and the final time, so it sticks in. But the writing does get better because we just, like I said, we dropped that fucking external politics thing, and it focuses more on the politics of this made-up nation where there's no real expectations of how things should work, because it's basically Rome if Rome never fell, and that's something that we have no real basis for in our heads, because there is no such thing as a Roman government in our modern world. The closest we have is the American system, but even then, that's kind of really just a perversion of the Roman system mixed in with the parliamentary system. You know, like it's kind of like a weird fucked up flipper baby. You know, like it kind of resembles it, but it's not because it's so inbred. I don't know. And that's good, and that's good. Like because we have no real concept of how this government should work, you can go fucking crazy with it. And I think the only thing that really puts a damper on it is the fact that they had the Emperor, who was, at the start, he was a really good villain. Right? The Emperor was a really good villain at the start, because he didn't understand just how big Japan's metaphorical dick was. But the second he gets to see that dick in person, and its full, erect, turgid mass, he's like, no, I cannot take this dick. This dick is too big for me, be gentle. And he started rolling it back and showing character development, and, you know, actually starting to become a decent fucking human being. Now, unfortunately, because we still had, what, like, 9 episodes left to go, that was not allowed to stay, so we had to introduce Zolzal, and we had to have the Emperor taken out, even if temporarily. Really, he could have been killed, and really nothing would have changed. Honestly, I don't know why they kept him alive, except maybe to reinstate him later, I don't know. And then we get Zolzal, who I really think is just a bad character, because he seems like a redo of the Emperor, except he doesn't have the Emperor's intelligence, shall we say, his grace, his je ne sais quoi. And he's being manipulated in the back by Tuel, the fucking bunny girl who uses her bunny boobies to manipulate Zolzal into fucking self-destructing the Empire. And that's really just my biggest thing. It's like, just, we didn't need Zolzal, we didn't need Tuel. We really, really did not need half of the political drama. I honestly feel like if Zolzal didn't exist and the Emperor was still around, you probably could have replaced Tuel. Actually, no, you could even probably have kept Tuel and had her be like a military advisor that the Emperor trusts. Like, maybe she sold out her, maybe change her history a little bit. So like, she saw that her tribe was going to get wiped out, so she sold them out to the Empire to secure her own survival. And the Emperor's like, hey, yo, I'm gonna bring you into my inner circle here, because you were like a worthy adversary or something, like something like that. Like, bring her in, and then she starts to regret it as time goes on, which leads to her bitterness and her desire to have the Empire destroyed. And that could have been a cool thing, because the Emperor would have no reason not to trust her. And she wouldn't need to be so fucking ham-fisted with it. She would need to be a little bit more subtle with the Emperor, and then over time the Emperor starts to lose trust with her, and maybe like his development into respecting the mass of the Japanese war dick like happens slowly over season 2, and then by this final episode of season 2, he's like, okay, we can't win this, I'm gonna sue for peace. And then, if by some fucking miracle there's a season 3, then you can have Zolzal, and you can have him come in and be this upstart prince who disagrees with the peace. He's like, no, you fool, you old man, you fucking sold us out, you son of a bitch. And he like makes a revolution, he performs a coup, he takes out the Emperor, and Tuel's like, oh yeah, I'm super down for this. But by peace happening, Tuel fails. And then you can have Zolzal do a coup. You can have Tuel help him. You can have the Emperor be killed or exiled or something, and you could roll it that way. And that would be a lot more interesting, and it would make a lot more sense, and it would be a lot less jarring than what we actually got. But even with that fuck-uppery, what we got other than that, outside the politics, the character development, and people talking around, and people talking and moving around and doing all that good shit, I enjoyed it. And when the Japanese finally realized, hey, wait, this isn't season 1 anymore, we can actually just go in and fucking murder everyone, those were really, really cool sequences. I like that a lot. Like, Sherry's a really good character, Sugawara's a good character, fucking, what's this? Kuwajiri? What the fuck's the guy with the glasses, his name? Kuwajiri? I've completely forgot his name. I'm gonna call him Kuwajiri. Kuwajiri was really interesting about how he was kind of like shady in the background, like, oh yes, Itami, you should go and get oil, blah 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 blah. And then he gets fucked up by Delilah. Like, that was really, really cool. And finally getting to this episode, just seeing kind of everything get wrapped up, it was really nice to see that. I don't think there was a single like loose end there. There was like a hook for like a season 3 with Zolzal piecing out and Pina being made crown princess, but you could leave it there. You could leave it there and have the rest of it play out in your head, and there's no real cliffhanger, there's no real loose ends, and you have that nice little character moment where Itami's like, ah, yes, the war's over, I can go get my porn! Yes, finally! And then he doesn't get his porn because he's such a fucking celebrity and he's traveling with the waifu platoon. So the cops have to fucking put him in the cop car for his own protection. Now you ain't getting no porn. You ain't getting no porn, Itami, you fuck. Use Amazon, you dick. Yeah, all around really interesting. I think the only real thing I have problem with is at the end when we see the ships, the canon ships, shall we say, at the end, where everyone's like, where Itami just meets up with his old squad, and they're like, "Oh, hey guys, how you doing?" And Bozez, so apparently the soldier that was with Bozez when they were in Japan, who I completely forgot about because I don't even know his fucking name. I don't even know his name. Apparently, him and Bozez, they're a thing now, and Bozez is pregnant, so she's been doing this whole thing with a fucking bun in the oven. Yeah, that kid's gonna come out fine, isn't he? Beefeater, like, she's latched on, like, so the guard who caught her, the soldier that caught her, apparently she's just not left his arms, she's just been in his arms for, like, the entire however long this fucking thing's gone. They're like, we're gonna overcome our language barrier, even though we don't understand each other, because she's got nice tits, we're gonna roll with it. And for some reason, Kuwajiri, or whatever the fuck his name is, him and Delilah? No, they a thing now. They a thing now. Like, what better way to meet your wife? Have her fucking try and stab you. And have you be in a wheelchair. Amazing. Fucking amazing. And what better way to meet your husband than have him put a fucking bullet in your shoulder? Like, I really wish we could have seen more of that build-up. I really wish we could have seen more of that build-up if they were going to do that. And maybe some more of Bozez and Soldier Number 1, and more of Beefeater and Soldier Number 2, other than, he fucking caught me and I want that dick, so I mean, Like, I think the only ship that's there that we actually saw really develop is Sherry and Sugawara. Because Sherry's just like, Sherry and Sugawara, never-ending love! And Sugawara's just like, we're gonna follow the law. Please just turn 16 already, please. Please, before you get this dick, you gotta be 16 or 13, depending on where we're at. We gotta go to the Johto region and get the fucking badge from the gym leader before I can fuck people of your level. That's how it works in Japan, right? You gotta go to like gyms and fight small animals to get badges. You hit 21, you go to have sex, and you fucking whip out a condom, and the condom refuses to listen. You don't have enough badges to fuck a girl this age! No, shut up, that was funny. Yeah, I mean, I think the only one there that we didn't actually see that I know happens because one of you guys linked me a scan is Tomita and the Catgirl maid. Like, we know that they're a couple, they're a thing. They're pumping out miscegenated babies the whole fucking time. And yet we never actually see them, and we never see what comes of their relationship, what horrible, fucked up fucking flipper babies they got. And that's kind of a missed opportunity in my mind, you know? Like, if you're gonna tease me with these ships, you gotta show me these ships, and you gotta show me them developing. God. Anyway, everybody, so I think that's really all I want to talk about. Like, the series... Okay, so, overall, I would say this series is a 6 out of 10. 60%, a D. Because the entire first season is a fucking dumpster fire. Meanwhile, the second season, like, the fire's gone down a bit, and they've moved it to a smaller trash receptacle, so it's like a wastebasket fire. Overall, the second season is much, much better, and I think it would have been even greater than it is if it just did not have the baggage from the first season just weighing it down. Like, because it's a very interesting premise. It's a very interesting premise, and the characters, once they actually become developed and they actually become characters, they're actually very interesting. And there's just a whole lot of missed opportunities. Like Lele being technically married to Itami, never brought up again. I mean, that's really something that really you can't just say and drop. You gotta kind of explore that a little bit. And there's just a whole lot of stuff just that came up in season 1 and was just hanging over season 2 like a fucking sort of Damocles. Like the international fucking politics in the real world just put a damper on the whole fucking thing because it just completely squashed a lot of the intrigue because it was all straw men and just complete misunderstandings. But 6 out of 10. Decent anime. I certainly wouldn't pay for it. I wouldn't pay for it. I mean, I'd watch it if it came on TV, but it's not something like I'd buy the Blu-ray or I'd buy merch of. Like, and I have no interest in actively seeking out the stuff that comes after, because this came out in 2016. We're most of the way through 2017, and we've heard nothing of a season 3 for this. I'm going to assume it's not happening. And this has not put any impetus on me to want to go out and read the light novels and everything after. I just don't. I just don't. Anyway, everybody, so thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think down there in the comments. Like, let me know what you thought of this series, of this episode, and maybe my reacts. And hey, why don't you leave, if you got any suggestions for video games, animes, fucking, I don't know, and really anything that you want me to let's play, react to, stare at, or stream, then leave that down there in the comments. And if you want to be, like, on the list of, like, hey, this is the next thing you are doing because I'm a patron, and you also want to help me keep the lights on, because this light is not a very good light. Like, it's wiggly as fuck. I don't know if you can see that. Then you can always put a couple dollars in the Patreon, and whatever a Patreon recommends, be it for an anime react, a stream, a let's play, or whatever, they get done first. They get priority. Now, I am going to say that we've got, like, 2 animes in the pipe from Patreons. One of them is only 12 episodes, and the other one, I think, is actually quite a bit longer, so that might take a while. But the video game and the streams and all that, and staring ats, all of those are completely open. So if you have something you're like, oh yeah, I want to see a let's play or a stream or a staring at of one of these things, then those are fucking clear open if you want to put anything in there. Thank you all for watching, everybody, and if you haven't watched the anime part yet, you want to watch this first, and hey, I mean, you're basically spoiled on it a little bit, but hey, that's linked down there in the VidMe down in the description. And as always, I am Nozz. Remember to like, comment, favorite, subscribe, and follow on VidMe so I can get fucking verified and put up longer videos. Holy shit. And I'll see you in the next video. But most importantly of all, I shall see you round the room.
Damn, I love my waifu. 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 She ain't nothing like you. She don't bitch and egg me all the time up on her cycle. Damn, I love my waifu.